Welcome to Zealous Conversation. My name is Sunday Uimabasi. I'm a real estate attorney working with Zealous Group International. I'll be taking you on 3 steps on how to verify legal documents or land title documents. You may need to know that the perfection of land titles are as important as the land itself. So you buy a land that has a defective title, you know that you're in for trouble. So that's why I want to educate you on how you can verify if those title documents are valid or not. Before I'll tell you the steps, you need to know that there are 6 major land titles in Nigeria. First is Excision, number 2 is Gazette, number 3 is Governor's Consent, number 4 is Certificate of Occupancy, number 5 is your Deed of Assignment, and then finally your Survey Plan. Actually, the last 2, your Deed of Assignment and your Survey Plan, is not really a land title, but you need to know that there are documentations that are as important, mind you, as I said earlier, as important as the land itself. Now, when all these documents are in place, how do you know if any of them is defective or valid? First and foremost, all lands are owned by the government. Prior to 1978, all lands were owned by communities, by individuals and all of that. But by 1978, 29th of March to be specific, the government of Nigeria made a law that all lands now belong to the government. That is the governor of a state or a local government a chairman or the administrator of the Federal Capital Territory. So prior to this, I said already, lands were owned by individuals, but once the government took over, lands were not and are not now owned by individuals, except some certain things are done. So firstly, a land that is owned by a government, the government can now map out an area, a particular parcel of the land, and indicate that they are not interested in using this land for any developmental purpose. That is what brings the first title to land, which is excision. So when you hear excision in progress, it means that that community or that village is in the step or is in the process of getting an official document referred to as the Gazette. Now that is the second title document, the Gazette. And what does it mean? It means this land has been documented by the government that is free from their taking it over for any developmental purpose. In other words, no plan of taking over this land. So Certificate of Occupancy is a document, it's a certificate issued by the government to an individual who occupies a particular land, and it is valid for 99 years. It doesn't expire until 99 years. What happens after expiration is yet to be decided upon, because for now, no land in Nigeria has expired. Reason, from 1978 till now, is not yet up to 99 years. Because Certificate of Occupancy is not reissued to a new person. Now, the remaining part of the years from the date it was gotten is what will be transferred to a new purchaser. So once a transaction is made, meaning the previous person who owned the land and had a Certificate of Occupancy is transferring the title to you, you need to go and document that transaction with the government. And that is where the next title comes in, the Governor's Consent. It is the law, like I said, that was made in 1978 that makes it mandatory that all transactions that involves transfer of title of land, which C of O has been issued, must be documented and approved by the governor of that state. So you need to go get a governor's consent for that plot of land. Now the next one is your Deed of Assignment. This is a legal document that is prepared by a real estate attorney or a property attorney, not just any lawyer, a lawyer that is practicing real estate or properties. He prepares the document in such a way that it shows the transaction, the agreements, the terms and conditions between the two parties, the buyer and the seller, in this case, the assigner and the assignee. So when you get your Deed of Assignment, you must ensure that you get a document called the Survey Plan. The Survey Plan is a document that shows the coordinates, the legal boundaries of that land, details of that land, the exact location and what have you. Now, with all of these documents, the next thing is, how do I verify? For every state, there are ministries that are concerned, and that's the Ministry of Lands, or whatever they may call it in any of the states. So you proceed with your survey plan to the ministry or to the Surveyor General's office, because when it has to do with survey plan, the office concerned is that of the Surveyor General. When it has to do with C of O and all of that, you have to proceed to the Ministry of Lands. For Lagos here, it is popularly known as Alausa, because that's where the secretariat is. So you go with these documents. 1, the number on the survey plan. 2, the coordinates will be registered with the government. And so they'll be able to tell you, this is the name of the person that owns this property. This is the exact location. This is the coordinates of your own land, to ensure that the particular plot you're buying falls within that survey that you have. Where any of this is not verifiable, that is what I mean is, the name of the person who is purporting to be the seller is not the one that has that document to his own favor in the government registry there or in the government office there, you know you're buying a land with a defective title. In summary, you have the documents. 1, get a surveyor. If you don't understand what it means to interpret a plan, get your surveyor, go to the land itself, ensure that your own plot you're buying falls within the plan that is with you. Proceed to the Surveyor General's office and confirm that that plan is actually a genuine one. Normally we call it red copy, because once it's registered survey, we call it red copy. You will see that the name there would show who owns the land. And for the deed of assignment, you need to know the terms and conditions that is contained. On the whole, I will advise you buy lands from real estate companies, or you buy land from an organized firm, that whatever is the encumbrance, whatever is the challenge, that company will always be out there to ensure that your interest is protected and covered. In Lagos, we know what your moneyless can do, but with a real estate company, you have yourself covered. Now that you know your title documents and you know how to verify them, that's why we at Zealous will ensure that all lands that you purchase, all properties you purchase, have valid titles. And you can always reach out to us for any transaction on your lands, on your properties, to ensure you buy a land that is valid and have valid title documents. Zealous is out there to serve you better.